second. Can somebody tell me why the letters are dark? Is it just me? Why are the letters so dark?
Happy Friday. Some more
Explain it. I really want to brighten up these letters. Can someone tell me how to brighten the letters up? Why aren't they showing like white in the background? Anybody know? This makes no sense. It's so dark. This used to come up white. That's what I'm saying. Should I take it off the ambient mode? Maybe that's it. Let's try that. Let's see how that works. All right. Y'all, let's get into it. See you in Valhalla. There's something, because Norse mythology. All right. Put a one in the chat when you can see in here. Let's go.
interesting tips are coming in. It seems that company.
In the beginning.
Yeah. Okay, so that interview that I did with Charlie back when my show was on PragerU's network is becoming increasingly prophetic. At the end of every one of those interviews, I would ask the questions from my viewers to whoever it was that I was interviewing. And this is the question that came in for Charlie, and this is how Charlie chose to answer that question. Take a listen.
Okay, who is, I already know this. You kind of already touched on this. Your all-time favorite historical figure, is it Milton Friedman or is there someone else? Jesus Christ?
Yeah, I would say, I got to always say Jesus Christ probably. Wow, that is a great question. Historical figure. So just for to make it fun, let's just say before 1850.
Okay, he's amending your question.
Whoever this is. Susie from Buffalo. I'm so sorry. Yeah, exactly. It's amazing, stunning. Right? That's the Mensa. I mean, I'm kidding. So I love the American founding fathers. Ben Franklin, I always really enjoyed. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson I think are too cliche. So one I really enjoy that I just love learning from is Julius Caesar. I think he's one of the most interesting historical figures. If you want to talk about someone who lived a full life,
right?
It's Julius Caesar. From conquering northern Germania to surviving and winning a Roman civil war,
right,
to an unusual alliance and quelling a rebellion with Cleopatra, to eventually to ending the Roman Republic, to starting the Roman Empire, and then seeing the people that he benefited the most turn against him.
Right.
I think there's something very tragic and very interesting about that. So I think it's one of the most interesting, and you could learn, if there's something to learn about humanity, you could learn it through the prism of Julius Caesar.
Man, that sure is something to hear him say that. The people who benefited the most turned against him. Gaius Julius Caesar, that is correct. A general who had rightfully earned the respect of the people for leading them through the Gallic wars, a statesman, and finally a leader who in the end was betrayed and famously assassinated by the very people that he helped to build up. A conspiracy, a plot to murder him, which included a lot of people, politicians, of course, the senators, military men, close friends and confidants, the most infamous, of course, being Brutus. Now, some reports say that he viewed Brutus as a son. That's how close they were. Of course, that didn't stop Brutus from plunging the knife into him. 23 times Julius Caesar was stabbed by senators, and of course, Brutus, leading to the famed Shakespearean expression, and et tu, Brute. Et tu. You as well, you too. Wow, you have turned against me as well. Now, why was he?
When did Charlie Kirk ever say that his dying words was not et tu, Brute? What is she talking about? Like, what is she? You can't make this up. Candace is literally trying to destroy any and every person in his life. Y'all, whenever I do these freeze frames, I'm telling you right now, I'm just pausing the video. I haven't seen this because I can't watch this stuff by myself. I think I would have nightmares. I would have nightmares if I had to watch this without you all. So I can't watch this alone. I don't understand there's nothing behind those eyes. See, my discernment tells me, Candace, that you are soulless and sinister. You're more evil. You have no care or concern about his family, his parents, his wife, his children, nothing. You have nothing here. That's why it looks like a black void behind those eyes. Nothing's there. You can't make this up.
They're assassinated because, I don't know, he was too good, too adored, too respected by the people, thereby a threat somehow to the establishment of politics. He doesn't like to see somebody come through the ranks and achieve what they perceive to be power that they can't control. Yeah, the Bible is very clear that there is nothing new under the sun, and it appears that history is present again. Judas, Brutus, in the future, when we are long gone from this world, who do you guys think is going to be the person remembered most for this act of betrayal against Charlie? Not me, that's for sure. It's not going to be Candace Owens, okay? No one's going to be saying, et tu, Candace, et tu.
You're the only one betraying him right now. What are you talking about? You're lying about his company with an endowment. Wolves and Finance was wrong. He said it was unethical to invest in the stock market when an endowment is nothing more than an investment account. So investing in the stock market is 100% legal and ethical. It is exactly what that account is for. Neither one of those two thunkheads could be factual with that, and that is based on research. I had to debunk them on that. She still has yet to expand on how they can get an additional extension from the IRS for 3 months with justifiable cause. And I think that the CEO being assassinated is more than enough reasonable cause for the IRS to grant them an additional 3-month extension to submit their tax forms. If anyone is being deceptive here, especially intentionally deceptive, it's Candace Owens. No one's sitting here calling her out on anything, but she feels the need to have to keep calling out any person. I mean, the man's pastor. She has attacked the man of God, Rob McCoy, so many times. I just don't see how you think you can undo that. But she doesn't care. Candace does not care. And if this all comes down to, I don't want anyone saying I betrayed him. Who said you did? It's like she's guilty. And she's trying to get ahead of it because she's guilty. You feel some sort of guilt, Candace? Your guilty conscience is screaming, girl.
Ooh. I can tell you that right now in government, there is real panic. There is real discussion happening regarding the Egyptian planes. I was informed that yesterday evening because I'm getting the sense that they hold the key to solving Charlie's assassination. The media keeps trying these weird ways to debunk them. And we're going to find out. I've been confident from the beginning that this was not going to be a JFK assassination story. We are going to figure out who that foreign dignitary was who went to 920 North King on the morning of Charlie's assassination, who flew from Provo and landed into Wilmington, Delaware.
Wouldn't you have the passengers list? Because you claim you can get all this information. Mind you now, the 920 North Kings, that building is where her attorneys work. She didn't tell any of you all that. She didn't even tell you all her attorney's law firm is in that building. I did. Her attorneys work there. The same attorneys that are representing her in the Maroon lawsuit. All three of them. Hence my thumbnail from yesterday. She didn't say that. She tried to do a post where she said, oh, that was information I chose to leave out. No, that's lying by omission, Candace. You said that about everyone else. And yet, your cult, candy asses think somehow you leaving that vital information out is not lying by omission because, definitions of terms change depending on what cult leader you're talking about, I guess. I guess that's how it works. You talk about their cult leader, then all of a sudden, they don't understand complex terms. But when she says it, somehow it makes sense. No. You should have said that my attorneys work in this building, by the way, people, because I don't want anyone to put it out there and then to try to give this idea that, you know, I'm withholding that information. Still not going to flat out say it, girl. Yeah, okay.
On the morning of Charlie's assassination, it is a very important question that needs answering. Got to tell you guys that we received another email, this time from somebody in the military who informed us about another piece that we were missing that could be crucial to this puzzle, taking a more serious look into that 1 hour layover stop when our yellow plane, SUBTT, the tail number, came into the United States on September 4th. You might recall it stopped for just 1 hour in Minot, North Dakota, which I learned has an Air Force base. It pretty much is just the Air Force base, by the way, before making its way onto Provo. And here, I'm going to read to you that email that I received. It says, "Hi, Candace, I am blank. One of the good ones, military member, one of the good ones. I think one of the keys to not overlook here is BTT's stopover in Minot, North Dakota. Why stop there at all on the 4th? Why not fly direct to Provo? Not only does Minot have an FBI office, but it also has an Air Force base. Among other tenants, that Air Force base is home to the 891st Missile Security Forces Squadron, a combined military and civilian security force that had just come off of Operation Valhalla, a training exercise in Minnesota from the 24th to the 29th of August, where the security forces practice long-range shooting practice, among other things. Remember on September 12th when Kash Patel ended his press conference with, quote, 'Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, my brother. We have the watch and I'll see you in Valhalla.' Yeah, very interesting thing to say. I don't believe in coincidences." That's how he ended the email, telling me to keep up the hard work. And so we investigated that, and that fact checked true, right? My not definitely.
How did you investigate it? Where's your documentation to show what came out of your so-called investigation? You understand why this is she's so full of crap? Show your evidence. You investigated how? By doing what? Not even a method here? Yeah, I'm going to read an email. I'm going to say we investigated. Checked out true. And we're moving on. What do you mean? Where's the evidence to show that you verified this? How did you corroborate that? This email came from her tip hotline, y'all. She doesn't know if she's being trolled. Candace, you have no idea if you're being trolled. You have no idea, do you, girl? You have no idea if they're a smart group of people that knows how to put some conspiratorial plan together and send all of that to your email tip. None. You have no idea because she doesn't know how to vet her tips. So keep at it, those who are doing that. Keep trolling her. It's funny and entertaining at this point.
Definitely is home to exactly what we
You're
are
welcome.
telling you. I didn't know anything, by the way, about the city of Minot. I can tell you that North Dakota in general is not a very populous state.
trolling her.
Approximately 750,000 people statewide. Okay. And in Minot, there are just 45,000 people, and that includes 5,000 people who are stationed there at the Minot Air Force. And it is home, as he indicated, to a global command strike center, which has participations between various countries on joint exercises. And we can show you right here that in the weeks leading up to Charlie's assassination, I mean, literally what he says, August 24th, 29th, Operation Valhalla took place in neighboring Minnesota. So they took the Minot boys and they took them over to Minnesota, and it included the military and, of note, the civilians. That's interesting. Of note, civilians, and they trained from August 25th to August 29th. And we can read the details of that here. And by details, I mean, this is what the public was told about what they were training for, okay? So this is on the Minot Air Force Base website. It says Operation Valhalla Strike was a week.
Yeah, because no one can take something like this that was to the public, make a whole new storyline from it, and email it to you as a tip. Candace, you're bad at this, girl. She has no idea she's being trolled.
Long training where the 891st Squadron from Minot Air Force Base, North Dakota, traveled to Camp Ripley Training Center in Minnesota, August 24th, 29th, 2025. They had advanced training focused on air-based ground defense and nuclear security tactics, the bread and butter of the squadron's mission. The training, called Operation Valhalla Strike, allowed the unit to complete requirements not possible at the Minot Air Force Base, including full-distance live fire exercises. Camp Ripley provided full-distance firing ranges, which allowed defenders to hone their rifle marksmanship and machine gun proficiency exceeding the capabilities of standard Air Force 25-meter training ranges. Okay, the squadron of more than 250 dedicated airmen and civilians supporting the 91st Missile Wing's global deterrence mission by defending the United States with the world's premier combat-ready intercontinental ballistic missile force. Okay, cool. And yeah, it sure must be something of just a...
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, because she has nothing else to say, Candace. You've attacked our United States military and accused them of being in on this conspiracy of doing something to one civilian. Like it or not, and this is not to be abrasive or mean, Charlie Kirk is just one civilian. In a country where there's at least 350 plus million Americans, why would the United States military be involved in the murder of one civilian? Boy, the fact that we can just throw her off so good. There's some creative people out there that's concocted up a whole thing because she's so conspiratorial. She's just going to read whatever. And people are figuring that out. People are figuring out that if you send something to Candace Owens' tip line, and if it is the most fantastical conspiratorial story you could come up with, she's going to read it and not ask questions. She's not going to follow up. She's not vetting anything. And all you have to do is attach an article that is available to the public about some training exercise, and bam, she's got a whole nother video. My spirit does discern that Candace is a fool who has no idea of when she's being trolled because she does not do research at all. Nor does she read, nor will she show her actual degrees that she's earned, allegedly. These 2 degrees. Yeah, no, she won't even put them in the background of her studio. Hang it on the wall. Nope, won't even do that. Won't even show her phone in a video or hold it up to a camera when she's trying to debunk someone who's already proven that her text messages are fake. You know, when there's an opportunity for her to provide evidence, she doesn't. She just says, I investigated. It checked out to be true. But doesn't tell you how, what method, the documentation of the evidence, none of that. I showed you all an email I sent to the school and the response they sent back. As much as I know I can ask questions about it, I still gave you the core information. She's just taking whatever's coming out of that tip line. You can't make this up. Candace, did you enjoy that letter about the office that your attorneys work in? I hope you enjoyed that.
Dedicated airmen and civilians supporting the 91st Missile Wing's global deterrence mission by defending the United States with the world's premier combat-ready intercontinental ballistic missile force.
Oh, dear Lord.
Okay, cool. And yeah, it sure must be something of just a coincidence that Valhalla, which kind of struck everybody as odd, as was him going 33 hours, 33 hours, 33 hours. It was like there was a press conference that was happening for the American people, but he was signaling to other people who were like in the club to know what they needed to understand about what happened. Do you know what I mean? That's how I felt about Kash Patel's press conference and things that he was saying. Something felt weird about it. 33 hours, 33 hours. And of course, yes, he did say something about Valhalla.
Oh, God.
Let's take a listen to what Kash Patel said.
Oh,
Lastly,
this is I know, right?
To my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Probably just a coincidence, you guys.
Oh no, we'll see Charlie Kirk on the training field. Are you serious? We'll see Charlie Kirk in Operation Valhalla, y'all. Oh Lord, Candace, you just read those tips and you don't think twice about it. And the more fantastical they become, the more you read them. And then you try to find things to try to fit the tip that you did not research yourself. So she's concocting the story as she goes along. And then she creates a script because all her shows are pre-scripted and pre-recorded. Candace, you're going to continue to be trolled through that tip line. And I'm letting you know you are. I hope you enjoyed that letter.
that this operation also fits just so neatly into our timeline. I love timelines. I love neat timelines.
Oh, no.
So let's pull that up again.
That she's
I'm
on
also going to
about
introduce
2
a couple
hours on.
of corrections to yesterday. First and foremost, July 20th, we talked
Yeah, the timelines need to be in Utah time because she doesn't understand anything else.
about BTT, which came in for its longest trip. That's correct. From Cairo, it went through to Paris, and then it went to Omaha, Nebraska. I think yesterday I said that it stayed in Wilmington for 6 days. No, it only stayed in Wilmington for
so
one night.
crazy.
It stayed in Nebraska for the longest stretch yet, departing from Nebraska, from Lincoln, Nebraska in particular. And this 6-day stretch of what they were doing in Nebraska actually might offer us a clue, because during this stretch on July 22nd, the Nebraskan Secretary of State, Bob Evans, announced that they were going to put together a trade and investment delegation to Cairo, Egypt. What are the odds? You got this plane from Cairo, Egypt, and we're going to pull this up and show you. And suddenly you got this guy, Bob Evans, and he says, yeah, you know what? Let's plan a trip to Cairo and see if we can make some money with them. I'm going to let you listen to, I think we have a news clip that will show you that happened.
Nebraska Secretary of State Bob Evans is inviting business and industry leaders to take part in a trade mission, investment mission to Egypt later this year.
Hit the like button,
Egypt's
y'all.
position
Hit
in
that
North
like
Africa
button.
makes it an ideal gateway to doing business in the greater Middle East region, and our state excels in several sectors that Egypt is keen to invest in, including agricultural goods, manufacturing, water management, medical technology, and more. The mission is currently scheduled for October 26th through November 2nd. However, the dates are subject to change. Those interested in joining the delegation to Egypt can visit the Secretary of State's website or contact the office to learn more.
And I want to say to my Nebraskans, we should probably figure out, I didn't have time to do this, we should go through a schedule and see who we met with, because I feel like that idea might be.
She didn't have time to do that at all, because that would be part of that vetting process to see if, you know, this video is real and someone is just not still trolling Candace. If someone is dealing with content creators that just made this video up, we should definitely vet this stuff to see if these are coming from a real news station, and that this person if they met with the individual here. We should probably go through that, right? She's admitting she had no time to vet this. She doesn't know where this came from, and she just pulled it up. It could have been a gag. It's a gift. It's a joke being played on her. She has no idea.
Contact the office to learn more.
And I want to say to my Nebraskans, we should probably figure out, I didn't have time to do this, we should go through a schedule and see.
You should probably figure out, I didn't have time to do this. Go through the schedule.
Who we met with, because I feel like that idea might be related to our planes. I just don't think like people in Nebraska are sitting around like, hey, we should go to Cairo, Egypt. And it happens to line up with this plane that comes in, literally comes in on the exact same day. I also, minor correction, I think yesterday I said that Tucker spoke on July 18th. He actually spoke on July 11th. I just kind of copy and pasted.
Yeah, because you're off by a whole week, because Utah time. Can't make
that overlong, so we made that correction. Anyways, we can then see that we've added this addition. This Valhalla is now here on our timeline from August 24th or 29th. They have this joint operation Valhalla that's taking place at Camp Ripley, and we are really getting tight here. We are talking about T-minus 12 days until Charlie Kirk is going to be assassinated. And here's what...
and she still can't point to the person that pulled the trigger. Yeah, because she has no idea she's being trolled. She has no idea if half this stuff is even real. Whoever did this has told the greatest story ever in real time. Just to F with Candace Owens. And I'm here for it.
I hope you guys are seeing here why I have said this was so clearly a military operation. Everything about this story is military. Okay. We are receiving tips, and we had been receiving tips I had ignored previously that the French Foreign Legion was involved somehow in the assassination. Time will tell. Okay. And I will present that more formally when I feel like we have concrete evidence.
You're welcome,
but we have begun the process of sharing information with other content creators, because there's something about this that feels that holding information is not going to help us. We have to, as soon as we get it, spread it with people that we trust, people that are actually fighting for Charlie, people that are actually going max and telling the truth during this tremendous time of deceit. And what
I'm going max. I went straight to URI and emailed them about their degree. I'm still waiting on you to actually show the degree. And then they never said you got 2 of them. We could go to the clearinghouse. We can go max with that. And we have to pay $19.99 for it. But, whatever. I mean, we can go max on a lot of things. Yeah, I went max on pulling up the fact that your law firm, your attorneys work in that same building in Wilmington, Delaware, where you said you don't understand the importance of Wilmington, Delaware. Candace, you'll understand when you start flying there to have to go to court hearings. I've been looking at the court calendar as well. Why don't you and your attorneys, Candace, request a hearing on your motion to dismiss and to strike the First Amendment complaint? When are you all going to go ahead and request a hearing on that? Stop stalling. That case is going to happen. That lawsuit is already filed, and the matter is going to be heard in court. Stop stalling and playing games, Candace. You should be focused on that. But no, you're too busy entertaining us while you're being trolled through your tip line. So, whatever. But you need to schedule a hearing for that motion to be heard.
I can say for certain thus far is that the list of military connects in this story is just too long. Okay. Charlie Surgeon, Dr. Lee Trotter, the alleged surgeon who apparently spoke about the miracle. We're supposed to assume spoke about the miracle, the 30-06. Again, he's not been confirmed, but we are pretty solid. This is our guy who happens to be a pilot who did his residency at an Air Force base. Oh, okay. That's interesting. We told you that Dr. Deidre Amaro is the medical examiner, Charlie's medical examiner, who they've curiously not wanted to address publicly. Yeah, I told you she's also a major in the military. Oh, who would have thunk it? Andrew Colbert, obviously, his brother and his cousin are captains in the military. That's a fact. Frank Turek, who's there for the assassination, is a naval flight officer. His sons are in the Air Force. That's a fact. McCoy's naval intelligence background in psychological operations because of granddad. And
yeah, boy, the military is having fun with this one here. They're like, yeah, you go ahead and just. What's the next page of this story going to be? We got to make sure we have some twists and turns in this. Make sure you guys email Candace, something about the blue plane and the yellow plane having a baby. I think it should be considered highlight lime green, Operation Lime Green, where the blue plane and the yellow plane ends up mating and having a kid. And so lime green now is what comes out of blue and yellow is green. So lime green then flies from Provo straight to the hospital on top of that roof. And now you see this lime green Egyptian plane sitting on the top of the hospital roof. That's weird. Candace, they're having fun with you, girl. I hope you know that. We're all enjoying this.
Famed, actually, is granted by McCoy's fame. There was like a fleet of ships named after the McCoys. Very high up military. The only two videos that we have that were recorded allegedly of the shooter. First and foremost, the video of him running away after the shot way too fast. If he was actually crouched down shooting, common sense, it's too fast. You couldn't be in the sprint that quickly. For anybody that's actually fired a rifle, you know that. You can't go from a crouching position to a full sprint in a split second. Well, that video was recorded by a person that is in the ROTC. I hunted that person down. Very strange. They didn't want to be involved and sent it through 3 people to release onto the internet. And then it is boosted. And that's the video that everybody sees. It's supposed to make us think of it.
No one needs to be involved with you. They owe you nothing, girl. Candace, no one owes you anything. That ought to show you how little power she actually has. We don't care about your bots or your cult members. We don't. When someone working on a campus is telling you no, Phil Lyman telling you kick rocks, people you reaching out to trying to get interviews, they all telling you to kick rocks. That means you have no power, Candace. You're just screaming loudly. You're loud and wrong. But I am loving the fact that people are trolling the crap out of you, sending you all of these imaginary stories to your tip line. I'm loving it. I think it should continue to happen. Please keep trolling her. Continue to troll Candace Amber Owens Farmer by sending her the craziest, most kookiest things that you can come up with regarding these planes. Baby green plane soon to come. That plane to be landing somewhere on the hospital. Because you just can't make this up. Yeah, keep on with that. Because she doesn't vet her tip line. And I mean, anything fantastical. We can start incorporating Martians from outer space, because the planes were able to intercept a mysterious plane in the sky. And that mysterious plane, it only had 6 people on it. And none of them looked like they were human beings. You won't believe it, Candace. Yeah, somebody send that to her as a tip.
There was actually someone on that rooftop. Then there's a video the second video, which is the guy laying down before the shot, right? That also was recorded by a person in the military who actually teaches shooting.
Dear Lord.
So this is not a military campus, guys. Burton Hibbs, Butch, the brother of Pastor Jack Hibbs. Jack Hibbs phones up Charlie. He's like, hey, can my brother come and listen to you speak? I guess this, whatever, was a hotbed. Older people just love Charlie Kirk in Utah. Very hard to find a student that was just, on campus that day and went to hear Charlie speak, probably because they barely advertised this event for a reason, obviously. I think they wanted to control who's there. And there could have been a lot of people there that were controlled military men. That's my viewpoint. But Burton Hibbs, Butch, is the brother of Pastor Jack Hibbs, obviously sons, I showed you, of an Air Force chief. Tyler Robinson is a Boy Scout whose uncle Mitchell may be related. People have pulled this off of the internet, and I don't have a photo for you today.
So now his uncle is about to catch it for no reason. Because Candace does not know how to stop doxing people, which is a cyber crime. So now you're about to get the uncle caught up. And for what? You think he want to have anything to do with this? Yeah, okay. So if you dox this person, you do realize that's another lawsuit coming your way, girl. And more people are going to start trolling you even harder because you keep doxing people. They have the right to live and exist in peace. They don't have to be trolled and doxed by Candace. Oh, let's get some comments in, y'all. I'm having fun with this baby green plane idea. I think that's a good idea. What's going on, Tom? But were the planes married before they had the lime green baby plane? You know what? We got to add that in somehow. Somehow the planes met and they married in 18 days, because the same time frame Candace and George married. Yeah, in 18 days. No, we'll pull it down to 18 minutes. Because in the air, in plain space, 1 minute equals a day. So 18 minutes, these two planes met, fell in love, married, and had baby lime green plane. And then they told baby lime green plane, you must go on a mission. You got to land over there at the hospital. And we're going to go over here to Provo. You go to the hospital and we'll see you soon. See you in the sky, son. Yeah, you can make this up. Hey, Mira, how you doing? What's going on? Sometimes, or was it born out of plain wedlock? Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Yeah, it was. Let's just say they got married in 18 minutes. Utah time and all. Candace is already off by 2 hours, so they could have gotten hitched. See that 2 hour time loss? Blue plane and yellow plane could have gotten hitched. They had time to have some marital fun, and then next thing you know, yellow plane's pregnant because we're just gonna say yellow plane's for the mommy. And she gave birth in the air. Baby lime green plane just popped out. He came out and he advanced real quick, within that 2 hour flight. And then they gave him a mission to go to the hospital and wait there. While the blue and yellow plane entertained the idea of going to a military base with subcontractors, something with, Valhalla. It went back in time to visit the Vikings. Then it came back. It's something else. They went on a whole journey. The Vikings of Valhalla was like, what y'all doing here? We don't see stuff like this in this time zone. You're in the wrong era. Then they came back. They went through a time warp. Did y'all know that? The blue and yellow Egyptian planes went through a time hole. That's how they was able to stay on task. Because Candace did not understand what UTC meant. So they went through a time hole. Obviously, right? Plain fornication. Obviously, they went through a time hole because you got to make up for the 2 hour time gap, right? So they went through a time hole, and that wormhole they saw the Vikings actually fighting on the field. And then they were like, wait a minute, we see the Vikings of Valhalla below. And then the Vikings of Valhalla are looking up in the sky like, is that a blue and yellow Egyptian plane? Does my eyes deceive me? Do we see the machinery of mankind flying in the air? Valhalla! Then they came back through the time hole, and here we are. You can't make this stuff. Yeah, my stomach hurts.
I should have grabbed it. Amber Robinson, there's just photos of them visiting an Uncle Mitchell. Is this the Mitchell that allegedly convinced him to turn himself in? Who's working? He's very much involved in the military. I believe with shooting in Ukraine, of all places. It's getting shady. And of course, our now infamous planes, SUBTT and SUBNT, are Egyptian military planes. And every plane that seems to be flying over UVU that day is somehow military contracted planes. So are we supposed to think that this is all by coincidence? Or are we looking at...
It's all made up. Y'all keep trolling her in that tip line. This is getting good. Please let the planes have a baby. It's got to be called Baby Lime Green. Operation Baby Lime Green. Okay? Please throw that in there for me. That'll be a shout out to me if I see the next tip says Baby Lime Green.
An obvious military operation. And here's something else that I want to share with you. As I reviewed this footage, and any time that I think that somebody is shady or somebody is brought to my attention that is involved or I would like more information on, they happen to be wearing a maroon shirt. Have you guys noticed this? Everybody that day, like I know, look, everybody is liberal and guys wear pink and, Abercrombie's a thing. But I have never in my life looked at every guy seems to be wearing maroon. That I'm like, who's this guy? Oh, he's wearing a maroon shirt. Oh, he's wearing a maroon shirt. Tyler Robbins, everyone's wearing a maroon shirt as if they were told to wear maroon shirts to identify each other. I'm communicating this to you because it keeps coming up in my research. And I think it means something. I think we need to hone in on the men, the people in the audience that are wearing maroon shirts. I don't think it's your go-to color for most men. In fact, it was so often that I was seeing this color that I reached out to my source at Utah and I was like, maybe it's a school color. Maybe actually they're all buying shirts and buying t-shirts and the school color for UVU is maroon. And he told me, no, it's not maroon. So this feels like something that we shouldn't ignore. I was able.
You serious? Yo, hold on. I saw something on, because Jay Witt, my brother in Christ, he sent me something. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? No, shorts. He sent me something. I'm telling y'all, he sent me something. Hold on. Let me go back to it. Is it up? Jay, what did you post it up, man? I could have sworn he sent me something. Oh, here it is.
As I've reviewed this footage, and any time that I think that somebody is as I've reviewed this footage, and any time that I think that somebody is shady or somebody is brought to my attention that is involved or I would like more information on, they happen to be wearing a maroon shirt. Have you guys noted this? Everybody that day, like I know, but I have never in my life looked at every guy seems to be wearing maroon. That I'm like, who is this guy? Oh, he's wearing a maroon shirt. Oh, he's wearing a maroon shirt. Tyler Robbins, everyone's wearing a maroon shirt as if they were told to wear maroon shirts to identify each other. I'm communicating this to you because it keeps coming up in my research. And I think it means something. I think we need to hone in on the men, the people in the audience that are wearing maroon shirts. I don't think it's your...
Y'all see him? Jay Witt wearing the maroon hoodie. And it's so crazy because that is his alma mater school colors. Jay Witt is my brother in Christ because he attended Morehouse College. Morehouse College is an HBCU in Atlanta. I attended Spelman College. We're like brother-sister schools. So whenever someone who went to Spelman, someone who went to Morehouse see each other, we call each other brother and sister because our schools are like brother and sister to each other. They're right next to each other on the same AU campus. So their school colors is maroon. And I think white. And Spelman is like this baby blue. white and yellow. So when he's seeing him maroon, he wears a lot of maroon because his school colors actually is maroon. We're talking about Jay Witt.
Go-to color for most men. In fact, it was so often that I was seeing this color that I reached out to my source and I was like, maybe it's a school color. Maybe actually they're all buying shirts and buying t-shirts and the school color is maroon.
Say my name.
Is maroon. This feels like something that we shouldn't ignore.
Yeah. Let me put this in the chat. Shout out to Jay Witt, y'all. Can y'all please make sure you put if I can get one of the mods to drop his YouTube channel link in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all check out that YouTube short. That is absolutely hilarious. Jay Witt, now I want a t-shirt. I want a maroon colored Morehouse t-shirt that says I'm his Spellman sister. You can't make this out.
Was able to track down a couple of episodes ago. I was telling you this bush situation seems to be a little odd. People thought they saw somebody speaking to a bush, and I
hold on
that is involved, or I would like more information on. They happen to be wearing a maroon shirt. Have you guys noticed this? Everybody that day, like I know. Look, everybody is liberal and guys wear pink and, Abercrombie's a thing.
This is ridiculous.
But I've never in my life looked at, every guy seems to be wearing maroon. Then I'm like, who's this guy? Oh, he's wearing a maroon shirt. Oh, he's wearing a maroon shirt. Tyler Robinson, everyone's wearing a maroon shirt as if they were told to wear maroon shirts to identify each other. I'm communicating this to you because it keeps coming up in my research. And I think it means something. I think we need to hone in on the men, the people in the audience that are wearing maroon shirts. I don't think it's your go-to color for most men. In fact, it was so often that I was seeing this color that I reached out to my source at Utah and I was like, maybe it's a school color. Maybe actually they're all buying shirts and buying t-shirts and the school color for UVU is maroon. And he told me, no, it's not maroon. So this feels like something that we shouldn't ignore. I was able to track down a couple of episodes ago. I was telling you this bush situation seems to be a little odd. People thought they saw somebody speaking to a bush, and I was able to determine who that person was that kind of comes out of the bush. Again, not saying this person has done anything wrong, but unusually, when I went to check that person's socials, they had posted on September 10th about their bulletproof skateboard that, I don't know if it was like a promo for his skateboard or whatever it was, but didn't do any follow-up posts about Charlie Kirk. Nobody in his family posted about Charlie Kirk. You had a front row seat and you watched Charlie Kirk die. And I guess no social posts about it, wasn't interested, maybe wanted to stay out of it. And then I obviously find out that his dad is the head of, and I hope I'm saying that correct.
She's off script. Y'all can tell she's off script right now. Candace, read the script. Okay. Your tip hotline is already trolling you. All right. Because we're making sure of that. Because you're not smart enough to vet anything. So why don't you stick to the script? Why are you sitting here looking down off the camera and all of this other stuff? You can tell when she's off script because she's not looking at the camera. That's where behind the camera is where they're holding up, or there's a screen scrolling the script. All she has to do is read it. George Farmer, you're slipping, bro. Just want you to know that you're slipping, George. George, you're slipping. What are you doing? He refuses to tell his wife to go make him a sandwich. This is insane. Yeah, how fantastical do you think these stories are going to get? By Christmas, are we still going to be on this subject? Next week is Thanksgiving. Y'all think she'll be still talking about this come December 1st? Just put a one in the chat if you think that this will be still going on into Christmas time. Put a one in the chat. Let me know. Let me know how y'all feel. Yeah, Lady Luck Club, she's going to be talking about this to New Year's. Like, are we going to have to deal with this for Christmas? I'm just trying to see here. Y'all let me know. One in the chat. I see one. She's still going to be talking about this come Christmas. Y'all let me know who else thinks that this is going to be going into Christmas. Catherine said, what's going on? Catherine says, one, too lucrative. It's too lucrative. She can't stop talking about it. She's making too much money. S-File says one. CC says one. Mira says one. Let's come on. It's 100. It's 92 people watching. You know, because the candy asses keep getting mad when I say that she's being trolled. Because that's the truth. Oh, girl, yes, you're being trolled. You're being trolled. I hope you enjoyed that letter about the building where your attorneys work. I'm saying well into 2026. Oh no. Oh no. Brady says one. Diane, what's going on, Diane? Talk about dysfunctional relationships, child. Mira says she will be accusing Santa later on at Christmas. Y'all, I want to watch A Christmas Carol. Candace, you're not invited to the watch party because you're going to go and ruin the movie. She's going to be coming out talking about how Ebenezer Scrooge came back in time and he gave a letter and he was the one that came and visited me as the ghost of Christmas past. You know, the one I said where Charlie told me to avenge him. Y'all, it was really the ghost of Christmas past. That's how she gonna tie this in with Christmas. Y'all remember the vision that I had? Yes. So I had 3 ghosts visit me, actually. Okay. So I do believe that one of them, you know, was like a stingy old miser. And he had this British accent. I just couldn't understand it for the life of me. And when, you know, I think about it now that I just something reminded me of it. And now I'm beginning to believe that it was like, you know, 3 ghosts that came to me. And it came to me every hour. And it started on Christmas Eve. And it was like, you know, I thought it was Charlie, maybe not it was Charlie. You know, I know what I don't know, but I don't know. But it sounded like it was like the ghost of Christmas past with Ebenezer Scrooge. And then the ghost of Christmas present, he was wearing all green. And then what's to come, you know, I feel like it looked like all of Charlie Kirk's friends. They were the ghosts of Christmas yet to come. Like that's how this is gonna go. you can't make this up. The other shooter was coming from Santa's sleigh. Oh, Diane said, "No, Christ, the baby doesn't exist." Candace Owens, let's wait. Exactly. His spouse said, "Santa's sleigh cross paths with the blue plane." Oh, oh yes. That explains the white plane with the red stripes. Maybe that was Santa's plane. And then, you know, she's like, "Oh, we caught Santa's plane coming in early, but it was supposed to be the blue Egyptian plane and then the yellow Egyptian plane. And these were military aircrafts." Okay. So I do believe that they said something about Santa Claus being on that plane. Or they saw a bunch of gifts and packages. It was wrapped in bows and different bright colors. I find that very suspicious. Very odd. It's very suspicious. A plane with a man dressed in a red hat. He had a white beard. He had a red jacket and black boots. Oh my God.